Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get going. Let's see, today is NFP, so we're taking a break from trading. We're going to be looking at Windows 10 and some of the settings in it, what it monitors, see if we can help you get Windows 10 speeding up. Why am I doing this? Because Windows has been pushing out Windows 10 to people without them saying, yes, I want it. And also, a lot of people will be migrating over to it because as of July 29th, it's no longer free, so I expect a lot of people to be jumping over to Windows 10. So hopefully this will let you know a little bit of what you're getting into with it. It's not a bad operating system. It's just they went overboard on the monitoring of what you're doing and information gathering. So I figured I'd do this video so you can see everything you can do to turn off what the data they gather on you. Because it also slows you down because it's running crap in the background. And again, the reason I'm doing it, July 29th, if you didn't know, Windows 10 won't be free anymore. It'll be $120, so I expect a lot of people to take advantage of that free upgrade that they're offering. The second reason I'm doing it is I've had quite a few people tell me they woke up in the morning and they're on Windows 10. We're going to start off with some simple things. I did put a link in chat for a Spybot anti-beacon. I do not want you to use this software. Basically, it's so you can see. Do not hit immunize. It will turn off every damn thing there is on there, and it might shut off shit that you're actually using. But as you can see, we're 4% protected, 2 out of 53 items that Microsoft's watching on this computer. We're going to get back to that in a second. So the first thing I'd want you to do is right-click your Start button. This is going to bring up a little menu. We're going to go to System. You can also get there by just clicking Start and going to Settings. And that's going to give us 2 windows open. Okay, we're going to need both of those. So let's go to Start also and go to Settings. And I'm sorry, I'll slow down. I keep forgetting that I have people watching. So let's go to Start and Settings first. And once you're in Settings, you're going to go to System. And we're just going to go down this list. Display, you really don't need to do anything. Notifications and Actions. One of the things you get in here is here. Show me tips about Windows. If you're brand new to it and you want this on, great. If not, turn it off because it runs in the background then and it monitors what you're doing so it can give you tips. So that's one of the things you can turn off. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, but that's stupid. Well, we're going to be going through a whole shit ton of things that are tiny little settings, and all these little settings, they add up in the end. Okay, so next is Show App Notifications, and that gives you app notifications if we look down here from all these programs that are listed. You may have more, you may have less. I don't want to know about them. So what I did is I turned off Show App Notifications. Show notifications on the lock screen, you could actually turn that off or on. Now again guys, if you're going through this, use common sense. If it's something you're going to use, leave it on. If it's something you're not going to use, turn it off. So for me, show notifications on the lock screen, I could give 2 shits less. So I went ahead and turned that off. Show alarms, reminders, and incoming VoIP calls on the lock screen. Don't care about that. Turn it off. Actually, I turn it on because every now and then I'll set the alarm on my computer because for some reason we have sleepovers. Me and my daughter, we sleep in the office for camping. You want to call it that. We have a little tent she sets up. Other than that, you can go through and look. If you do show app notifications and you have it on, you can go through individually, app by app, and turn off which ones you want to get notifications from. So you don't have to turn them all off. You can just turn some of them off. Apps and features. Let's go into the next one. Now this computer, I have not gone through and done anything on it. So, well, it's had some of my old settings, but I haven't really gone through and tuned this one because I don't use this computer very much. My daughter uses it mostly. So you can see, and plus you can tell I do things bad on this. Okay, so apps and features, basically, it lets you install and uninstall. We can probably skip through this one because there's not too much to do. Multitasking, arrange windows automatically by dragging them to the sides, corners of your screen. What does that mean? Let's see. Let's go to Chrome real quick. What that means is if I put this here, then it asks me what other window do I want to put here. Okay, pretty simple. It lets you auto-arrange things. So if, let's say you have 2 windows you need to copy and paste from, it's kind of a cool little feature. Wrong one. Did I close the settings? Probably. What a douche. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I did. What the hell? Alright, let's go back into it. So start, settings, and system. And we were to multitasking. When I snap a window, automatically size it to fit available space. I have a majority of these on because I like it to do it for me. I don't like having to grab the little edge of the window and adjust it like this. You can have virtual desktops, and I'm not going to get too much into those. If you don't know what it is, basically I would suggest don't touch it. It's as simple as that. Tablet mode. If you have a touch screen or a tablet, this is where you can turn it on. And we're not going to mess with it. I'm on a desktop right now. Power and sleep. Now this is one of the ones we're going to go into because this is one that can affect you quite a bit. We go to additional power settings. This is where you can do balanced, high performance. Let's cover this a little bit. If you're on a laptop and you put it high performance and your battery's not, or you're not plugged into electricity, this will kill your battery pretty quick. We're not going to go into advanced settings on this, but let's go into change plan settings on it. I still have it set up for 15 minutes and put the computer to sleep never. You can set it for like 3, 4, 5 hours. I have this set up for never because I use this computer for other things, like it's a Plex streamer for my Roku. Okay, we don't want to go into any of these because it will get into a ton of crap like here, and we don't want to get into it. You should be sufficient just doing additional power settings, and you can flip to high performance. If you're on a desktop, I definitely recommend it. If you're on your laptop, be careful with it because it will kill your battery. You could go with balanced, which would probably be a better, or if you're always using your battery and not plugged in, you could always do power saver. But let's say, for instance, you're gaming, you could always jump in here, go to high performance, then start your gaming. Storage, offline maps, default, and about. We're going to skip the rest of that. There really isn't any point going into that one. So, meh, we don't need it. Let's go back. The next thing we're going to go to is privacy. This is going to be a big one. And this is where I was talking about there's a ton of little settings. And this is where this one is pulling, where it shows that Microsoft's watching a ton of crap we do. Okay, so just in general, at the very first one we see, let apps use my advertising ID for experience across apps. I have that off because I really don't want them monitoring everything I do and sending it to advertisers, because then all of a sudden you get a bunch of shit. Plus, it also, like I said, it slows things down. Okay, turn on Smart Screen Filter to check web content that Windows Store app uses. You could turn this off or on. It's optional there. I don't think that one's too big of a deal, but if you don't want it, if you use a lot of Windows Store apps, which I don't, I would suggest you could just go ahead and turn it off. Send Microsoft info about how I write to help improve typing and writing in the future. This one I think is ridiculous, but again, on or off is your option. It's also kind of linked down into Cortana, so we can do it off. Let websites provide locally relevant contenting by accessing my language list. Again, it's looking through your computer, seeing how you type and do things, and it's off. Okay, location. Now, location, I don't really care about it because it does, like if I search Walmart, it gives me relevance. But you can go down and look which apps that can use your location. I'm going to turn that off. And you can see I have almost everything turned off. There's really not too much, actually. You could probably just turn it off, actually. This is all, I keep forgetting, this is for Windows apps. So you could turn location off and it really wouldn't affect. If it does, you can always go back in, turn it on. Camera, it's the same thing. Let apps use my camera. And these are all the apps that it says. So I could do off, I don't want OneNote to use it, I don't want Edge to use it. Microsoft Messaging and Skype I do. Maps, no. Skype, App Controller, and 3D Builder. Some of these, like 3D Builder, why the hell would it need to use my camera? Microphone, again, it's going to give you a list, and you can turn it off. Roku, it doesn't need to use my microphone. Voice recorder does, Xbox does. Okay, next one, speech, inking, and typing. This is Cortana. I have Cortana disabled already. I personally don't use her. I don't talk to my computer that much. If it had more features in it, I might consider using it, but it doesn't. So I'm just like, whatever. I don't even need it. If it doesn't say this, click here and it'll disable. Cortana is a memory hog. Even when this is turned off, she's still actually running in the background, but at least this will help out a little bit. Let's see. account info, I don't want to go in there. Contacts, calendar, where is it? Other device, background apps. Okay, so we can kind of skip down through the rest of this, and we'd want to go to background apps. This is where you think you'll be a little bit surprised of what kind of shit is running. Okay, so background apps. This is all, and you notice these are all Microsoft, pretty much Microsoft apps. You can go through these and turn off whatever you're not using. I do use alarms and a clock, and I do have a Canon inkjet, so I leave that on. Get Office. It will bug you to upgrade to the newest version of Office. So let's say you're not on the 2016 or whatever the newest version is. I don't use Microsoft Mail. I use Outlook.com and Gmail. Maps, I'm on a desktop, so I could care less about. Edge, I have it on just because I occasionally use it. Phone, I think if you have a Windows phone, it does some things where it'll sync. Settings I leave on. Skype translator I have on because I do talk to people in other countries. Skype video I leave on. Store, travel, and weather, don't need it. These are all things running in the background, so if you don't use it, turn them off. I mean, it's ridiculous how much shit they have monitoring. Okay, so that sums up really about everything we can go into here. Feedback and diagnostics. Windows should ask for my feedback. You know how if something goes wrong, I don't care, so I turn it off. And I would go to basic instead of full. Other devices, we'll get into that one real quick, because if you have a Windows phone, this is useful. Let apps automatically share and sync your info with wireless devices that don't explicitly pair with your tablet or PC or your phone. Actually, I leave this on because it talks to my Roku. Okay, so I'm trying to think. For that sums that one up. Now the next one we went to, and if you don't remember, it was we right click your start button, and we go to System. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit of a change just to generally speed things up. Go to Advanced System Settings. Then we're going to go to Performance. Now, you can see mine's in custom, but if it's let Windows choose what's best for my computer or adjust for best appearance, I would highly recommend click for adjust for best performance. It's going to remove every single check mark. Now, the one check mark that I do want is show thumbnails instead of icons. The rest of this crap I don't care about. It makes cute little shadows. It makes Windows see-through as you drag and drop them. It does a bunch of little floofy things. Now, if you do this and you lose something that you like, you can just go ahead and go through it. But for the rest of this, I don't need it. So you click Apply, and then OK, OK, and Close. That sums up for a little bit of what, like I said, this wouldn't be too long, but it's going to turn off a shit ton of privacy things. Cortana, just in case. So we've disabled her, right? Welcome back. Let's pick up where you left off. Click on Settings, the little icon, and you can see she is turned off. Now it has some settings down here, but you can either leave them on or off. But we just want to make sure Cortana is off. Like I said, I think she's a waste. She has potential, but she's kind of a waste. Okay, so we're going to take a look at one other thing. In here, and this is something that, there's one item in this program that I might recommend you using. If we go to the optional up here, and this is just an example, so I'm going to show you how much shit Microsoft is still looking at on this one. Let's see. So in optional, Bing IPs I'm not going to turn off. Reason being, I use Bing every now and then. Telemetry hosts. Okay, telemetry host is, if you ever notice you go to a website and it says DoubleClick, something like that. Here's my host file. Well, if you don't understand what a host file is, a host file tells your computer what sites it can and can't see. This is on a video, so I probably shouldn't say, but some of y'all might understand why Bandicam's in here. But a host file basically is what your computer is allowed to see and what it can't see. For instance, I guess, let's see. We'll do something real quick. Watch. Ping Google.com. Why am I not getting an IP address? Okay. Blah. That didn't work. Ping yahoo.com. Alright, so skip it. It's not giving me what I want. I was going to put in a different IP address here and make it go to a different website. But let's say, for instance, if I put in Google's IP address here, and then I put Bing.com here, it would go to Bing's website instead of Google's whenever I typed in Google's. So this kind of controls what your computer sees. What I'm going to do, though, is, and this is the only one that you might, it says telemetry host extensive list. I'm going to hit apply. Okay, I'm going to close my hosts right here. Actually, I'll keep it minimized because in case it loses. I'm going to reopen it, drag it over here, Control A, and I'm going to go to font, make it small again so you can see everything. That's fine. Okay, so if we remember, there was, nothing on this list. So we clicked block basically everything that Microsoft's using to gather things while you're online. So let's go through. Look at the list that I just added. This is all crap that Microsoft, every time you go to a site, if it's there, it's reporting back to Microsoft. So that I did block, because I think that is insane. And just for the hell of it, let's see how many this is. I'm going to do Control C, start. Let's see how many items that Microsoft was watching for. This is the last step, and it is the only thing with that software that I say you may want to block. Now, if it blocks something, you can always come back and hit undo. So let's see real quick. I'm going to hit here and V, and hopefully it'll do it. So it blocked 70 freaking websites that Microsoft was using to gather information on you. DoubleClick.net, that one might sound familiar. Some of these it's like ac3msn.com. Now this doesn't block you from getting to msn.com. Watch. But it's going to block a lot of bullshit that's loading up in the background. See, msn.com just loaded up just fine. So we're not blocking it. What we're blocking is the shit that runs in the background and gathers data on you. I don't know if you've ever noticed, and this isn't going to turn it off. You'll do a search for something, then you go to Facebook, and hey, I just looked for a pair of shoes, and all of a sudden, there's that pair of shoes I was looking at. It turns off that type of crap. But 70 items it's going to remove out of there that when you're browsing. So this is also going to help speeding up your internet browsing because it's going to turn off all this shit. It blocks them. So basically what happens is if you go to the website, for instance, I go to msn.com, and so if I go to msn.com, what would happen in the background down here is sometimes you would see add doubleclick.net. That website's monitoring what you do there. It sends data back. It's basically collecting data on what you're doing on the msn.com website. A lot of these would be collecting data. And it sends it back to Microsoft or that company. So basically, it's data gathering on you. So that, guys, pretty much sums it up. Like I said, it's not going to be anything fast, crazy, long. It's just I wanted to go through it since a lot of people are getting up there. The main point of it is this one here really was kind of annoying. There was one other setting. We will get through that. I almost forgot. If we go to, again, optional, Cortana group policy, I do block because I don't want her using anything. Other than that, it's up to you, but I wouldn't use too much in this software. It just makes it easy. One, because this telemetry host file, I was blown away by the amount of websites that it was sharing data with. In Cortana, this is the easiest way I found to turn it off. The program that I shared, it is portable. It does a quick install, but it doesn't actually do a whole install. Okay, so do we have any questions on what I just showed you? And I mean, this is something I would probably be a little bit upset about. So if you have questions on what I showed you, we'll leave the video up for just a minute or two more so you can ask questions. or if you need a review on something we did. But I'm hoping it opens your eyes a little bit. Windows 10 was free in a way, but now maybe you can see why it's free, because it's not free. The amount of, I wouldn't say spying, the amount of data gathering they're doing now is just insane. I mean, I could not believe it when I went through it on the amount of shit that they're gathering on us now. So this is a way to turn some of it off. And remember, each little thing that you turn off, it adds up onto the speed of your computer. I'm not going into how to clean up your hard drive, defrag, or anything today. I'm just going through the security settings, or safety settings, I guess. Not safety. Data gathering settings that Microsoft has in place. We did cover a couple things on how to speed up, but mainly, I mean, you should notice a little bit of speed increase by doing this. If you don't, there's probably something wrong with the computer. But the amount of shit they're gathering on you is just unbelievable. I honestly don't understand how they're getting away with it. But I understand how you're getting Windows 10 for free now, because I'm sure they're selling off a lot of your data. With the amount of 70 different things gathering data on you, I'm sure they're making a nice little chunk selling off your data. Let me check Skype and see if anyone had questions over there. If not, that pretty much sums it up, guys. Close, don't save, check Skype. No questions over on the Skype side. Alright, so I'm going to take a little break, and I'll come back and probably live stream for a little bit today, but it's Friday. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hope it opens up your eyes a little bit so you can understand why Windows 10 is free. And I'm not being like a, what's the guy's called, conspiracy theorist. This is just plain facts. This is probably how they're paying for Windows 10 to be free, because all these companies, some of these are MSN companies, but some of these aren't. ADNX.com. A lot of these are just data gathering companies that then sell your information off, where they build a profile on you so that they can try and give you, what is it called, targeted advertising. And that's how your browser sometimes will come up with things that you are interested in, but it also in the long run slows you down. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and hopefully it'll help you out on speeding some things up. Alright, enjoy. I'll be back on in a bit. I gotta figure out how to stop my streaming.